আজকে করো আমরা নিউ Jira testing tool. It's another testing tool that's where you can create the epic, user story, task, subtask. You can create the project. You can create the sprint. You can execute those in this Jira. So it's like a total like project management and also a backtracking tool. You can create the bug also, right, report the bug, log the bug also here. So this software we're going to learn like what is the Jira, what is the Jira used for, how to use the Jira schema, Jira issue and issue types, Jira components, screen, Jira issue attributes, issue security schemas, how to create an issue in Jira, how to create a subtask, what are the workflows, plugins in Jira, Jira in Agile methodology, creating issue in Agile, how to create an epic in Agile, reports in Jira, and Jira Scrum versus Jira Kanban board. Clear? So those are the topics we're going to learn under Jira software testing tool. So what is Jira? Jira is basically a tool which is developed by the Altasian company, and this is used for backtracking, issue tracking, project management. All it's give you a total project management. You can say total project management tool where you can track the issues, you can create the bugs, you can create a project, you can track a project. And the full form is there, inherited from the Japanese word. We don't need to do this. So the basic use of this tool is to track issue and bugs related to your software and mobile apps. It is also used for project management, and this dashboard consists of many useful functions and features, which makes handling of issues easy. Some of the key features are listed below. Now, in this Jira tutorial, you can learn Jira Defect and project tracking software with the training course. So, basically, Jira is we are using to backtracking, issue tracking, project management. That's all. And through the dashboard, it has a report generation. You can generate the reports for the bug or for the project, how far your project is went, what are the lagging or the time constant you have, how many defects you have, how many issues you have opened or closed. All these things you can generate through the report, Jira report. So why we use the Jira? For requirement test case management, you can write the requirement and you can write the test case, right? You can keep the test case and manage the test case in the Jira testing tool. You can use this in Agile methodology. You can use for the project management, for the software development, product management, tax management, backtracking. All this can be used with the Jira testing tool. How you can use the Jira? There are some processes used to Jira. You have to open the Jira software and make it to the Jira home, right? And then from there, you can select create a project option. Without creating a project, you cannot do anything. You cannot create the bug, or you can create the issues, or you can create the epic sprint, nothing. So first of all, you have to create the project. And then you choose the template from the library. In that library, we have a project template, whether you want to create a agile project, you want to use a Kanban project, or some other projects. There are like 5 or 6 different project templates is there. So you can choose which project you want to create. Normally, we work with the agile, so you normally choose agile project. Set up the columns as per your needs for boarding setting. So there are like a standard there is like 4 column, which is like a backlog, and then you have like a development, to-do list, and completed or something. So those are like 4 standard, but if you want, you can add more columns and add your attributes, what you want to put, like in progress or completed or release or pre-production or production. All these things you can add, and you can manage your workflow by customizing those columns. And then you can create the issue, and you can invite your team members and start working on it. So as an administrator, you have all the rights to do this, but as a team member, you might not have all the rights to do all these things. As a team member, you might have only to create an issue, or just to create a subtask, or just execute the task. You cannot create anything. So mostly like project manager, not project manager, a scrum master or product owner have full rights as an administrator. And maybe like the test lead might have the full administrator right, where he can create all this project issues, you can invite the team members to join there and it's working. But as a team member, you will have to read only and write only. You will not have the authority maybe to create all these things, give the permissions to other users, all these things. So these are the basic steps to use the Jira. You have to open the Jira, go to home, you need to create the project, you have to choose the template from the project, you set up the column as per your need, and you create the issue and start working on that issues. Any question?
No, it's fine.
Oli?
No, it's okay.
It's okay.
Jafar?
Yeah, it's okay.
So inside the Jira schema, everything can be configured and consists of these are the things, right? It has a workflows, it has the issue type, what kind of issue is there, the custom fields, screens, field configuration, notification, permission. Those are the inside the Jira schema, you will get all these attributes fields, and you can configure these fields as per your need. So you can create like epic. Under epic, you can create the story or the task. Under the task, you can create the subtask. Those are the way you create the issues in Jira. So what is the issue? Jira issue is a would track bugs or issue that underlies the project. Once you have reported project, then you can create issues. So as you said like previously, you have to create the project, do these things, and then only you can create the issues. Without creating a project or existing product, you cannot use the issues, right? Issues are nothing but your user story or task or epic. So under issues, you will find another useful features like issue type, what kind of issue it is, what are the workflows, what are the screens, what are the fields, and what are the attributes, right? You can see here issue types and screen schema. Under that you have a screen schema, or you can have unmapped issue type. Means this issue is itself is the issue, and this user story is not mapped with any other user story. So it's not related to any other user. It is a standalone user story. Basically, like there are the user stories which is mapped with other user stories. So one user story can be a parent, and under the parent you have different user stories which can be a child. So it's like parent and child relationship. Clear? So that time you can say that all the child users or the parent user story are mapped with the other user stories or issues. If it is not, then you can say it is unmapped issues. Means it is a standalone. What kind of issue it is a bug or it is a task, user story. Those are the things you can define when you create the issues. But we'll see all these things when we do the practical. Any question here?
Okay.
So these are the fields actually you need to specify. So, I mean, when you practice on, then you can remember these things. Otherwise, you don't remember that much way that.
Is that like how we did the test case? Like wherever is the test case?
Same test case. Yeah, same test case we're going to implement in Jira.
Okay.
We did it in Excel, but with same test case we're going to implement in the Jira. How we're going to write the test case in Jira?
So those are the naming convention.
Which one?
Like the screen scam, like the.
No. Those are not. Those are the schema or attributes or fields inside that software. Those are the fields. Like you have to, when you're writing an issue, you have to say what kind of issue you are creating.
Okay. Yeah,
whether
that's
it's a
what I
bug
meant. Yeah.
or is the other thing. This is the thing. Workflow. What
Those
kind of
are the
workflow
field
it
we
is?
have
Those
to
are you
fill
have
out.
to define. No, this is preloaded. You have to select it. So it is preloaded and it will be give you the options. You have to choose from that option.
Okay.
So, therefore,
Yes.
any question?
No question.
So issue types is display all type of items that can be created and tracked by a Jira testing tool. And Jira issues are classified under various forms like new feature, subtask, bug, etc. as shown in this script. So issue types nothing but different type of issues. Like what kind of issues you're creating? Are you creating a story, or are you creating a new feature, or is it epic or a bug? All these things. These are the type of issues you have to define when you're creating an issue. So when you choose the issue type, then you have to choose any of these for that issue. That's how you create it.
Just
And there are
one
two
of
types
them.
of,
Just only
Yeah.
one of them?
one of them, yeah, at a time. You cannot choose all of them. If it is a user story, you choose the user story. If it is a task, you choose the task. If it is a bug, you choose the bug. And based on this issue type, there will be different option screen will appear based on these options. The information you need to fill up is not going to be same when you choose Epic and subtask. So it will be the different options. So there are other two types of issue schemas in Jira Project Management tool. Also, one is the default issue type schema and one is the Agile Scrum issue type schema. Default issue type schema is the default issue type schema. All newly created issues will be added automatically to the scheme. So one is a default issue. Like if you choose this default issue type schema, these options will be added automatically. So you can choose whenever you're going to create the issue, you can choose anything from these options. Okay.
Yeah.
And another is Agile Scrum issue type. And this is the issue and project history with the Agile Scrum will use this schema. So if you're doing any Agile Scrum issues, you can use this issue type where this much option you have. It doesn't have all the options, default options you have in the default issue. So it is like improvement, back, technical tasks, story, and epic. And this for default, the project is always configured as a global. Means like all the unconfigured projects will be attached with that. And when you're trying to create the schema, there will be no project will be attached automatically. You have to configure the project, which project you are trying to do the Agile schema issues. So you have to choose the project. Clear? So these are the fields, these are the attributes which we are telling that it is a workflow issue type, custom field screens. So when you open it, you see the issue types, schema, subtask, workflow, screens, fields, issue attributes. Those are the fields. And under that, you have a screen schema. Those are the things you need to can configure. But this configuration is not part of your job. Those are the part of the Jira administrator or Scrum Master job. Okay? Any question?
Not so far.
Nah, it's interesting.
So apart from those two issues type, you can also add schemas manually as per requirement. Like as per your requirement, you can also add different schemas if you need it. Like for example, you have a created IT support. IT support, right? Here you see issue type schema. When you click that, we get this screen, right? Where it gives you, you can add your issue type schema and you have to provide this information. The asterisk mark, you see the schema name,
Yeah,
asterisk
it's
mark.
triggered.
Those are like required.
Triggered.
You have to have the information. Others you can ignore it or you can put it as per your need. And then for this, we will drag and drop the issue type from the available issue type or issue type of the current schema. And then from the current schema, we are creating a epic. You can drag and drop this feature in the epic, right? Epic. So it will be created as an epic and you can save this thing. Right?
Yes.
So whenever you're choosing this, you see this available issue types, it will come up as a default, whatever we configure as a default issue type, and then we can choose what are the things we are going to create, whether click to back, we're creating epic, or we're creating story, task, whatever. And then once you drag and drop it, and then save it, then that issue will be, schema will be saved as those issue type. So those are the issue types you can create it. You can create the way a new, you can use create new issue type schema. And Jira screen, what is the Jira screen? When an issue is created in Jira, it will be arranged and represented into different fields. So when you're creating any issues in Jira, it will be arranged and represented into different fields. And these displays of the field Jira are known as a screen. So you see here on second screen, associate an issue operation with the screen. So whatever issues you created, we can choose the screen name, whether it is default screen or resolve issue screen or workflow screen, and you can add it. So this issue type will be attached with the screen name. So normally when you are working and creating any issue, there is a workflow screen. You are working on that issues. Okay. For each issue, you can assign the screen type as shown in the screenshot to add or associate. To add or associate an issue operation with the screen, you must go to the main menu and click on issue and then click on the screen schema. And then click on associate an issue operation with the screen. And add the screen according to the requirement. Now in the Jira tutorial, we'll learn these things, all these things attributes, right? So to create this screen, you need to go to click on issue and then you need to go to the schema and then you need to click associate an issue operation with the screen. And then you can add these screens from the menu, default screen, resolve issue screen or workflow screen. And then click add, it will be added. Clear?
You add or you choose? Just
you choose and then you have to click add.
oh, okay.
Go.
Oh, I mean that's corner like add issue type.
Yeah. So therefore, it's like one after you choose, you need to add. Otherwise, it will not add the screen name. So once you choose from these options, then you need to click the add button.
Oh, okay.
Clear?
Yes.
Otherwise, it will not add it. Like here, once you drag and drop the schema, then you have to save it. Otherwise, the whole things you did it will not save as a IT and support. Any question?
No.
So Jira attributes. What are the attributes in Jira? And issue attributes encompass like status, resolution, and priority. Those are the attributes in Jira issue attributes. Status is there, like here. So these are our main screen. From here, you can choose the screen. You click the screen, as I said, like, and the issue type. You can create a screen schema. You can use the custom field configuration, and you come the issue attributes. And in this time, you see the status, right? Status is the different status used to indicate the progress of the project, like to do, in progress, open, closed, reopen, and resolve. So these are the status of your issues, like your issue is either is open or not, it is in progress, or it is in reopen or resolve or close. It will show you all this status, in which state your issue or user story is state now, right? If it is like resolve means completed, there was some problem, right? It was in progress. And there is some issue with that. So once that is like resolved, maybe that issue is dependent on other team, Scrum of Scrum. So without that team do the job on their end, we cannot do the job on our end. So that is dependent on that other IT department. So we can keep that in progress, maybe the status in progress. But once they done their job, then we can put that as a resolve. Means we don't have any more dependency on that IT. Now we can work on our own. So what are the problem it was there? It is resolved, and we can once it is like done, we can put it closed. Right?
Can you go back, please, the previous page for one more time? I need to see the add and save.
This one?
Yeah, so this first one we save it, like the when you add any schema, and then when you create this issue, then we add it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like,
thank you.
When you're creating a issue type schema, you save it, right? But when you're adding the screen name, you have to add the screen name. There's nothing to save because you're adding the screen name.
Thank you.
So these are the like status of SDLC, bug life cycle, right? Whether your issue can be open, in progress, reopen, or resolve or closed. So these are the like in Jira's, but in custom, if you do custom, you can add more status attributes if you are customizing your Jira. So those things will be showing. Likewise, you have resolution and priorities. Resolution, it again talks about the progress of issues like fixed, unfixed, duplicate, incomplete, cannot. It will come. Wait, put in the chat. So like same way, the resolution can be a fixed or unfixed or duplicate, incomplete, cannot reproduce, done, all these things. We already seen in our bug life cycle, right? What are the resolutions? So the resolution means like whether the issue has been fixed or not, whether it can be fixable or not, or it is a duplicate, or it is incomplete, or cannot reproduce, means like the steps you provided to the developer, they cannot reproduce the same defect what you used to get. So it might, because it might be a environment issue, that's why they cannot reproduce it, because when you are testing, you might get that defect. But now after half an hour, I'm not getting the defect. So it might be some issues. So since I'm not able to reproduce, I can mark this as a cannot reproduce. Or it is done, right? And also you can set the priority of the issue, whether the issue is critical, major, minor, blocker, or trivial. Those are the priority or severity. Right? Confused?
No.
Confused or what?
So it depends on the issue that how you deal with it, right? Then you can go critical, major, minor.
Yes, based on the issues, you mark your issues, whether it is major issue, minor issue, critical, or it's a blocker like showstopper or trivial.
Okay.
Those are the priority, severity of the issues. And priority, you can mark as a priority, whether it's a high priority, low priority, medium priority, all this you can mark based on that, right? And these are the resolution we talk in Jira, whether the issue is fixed or not, it is fixable or not, it is duplicate or incomplete or cannot reproduce, done, all these things. Those are the resolution in Jira. And these are status. The issue is in to-do position. Status means I have to test it. That is in to-do. So all the features or epic or user story are in to-do column, means I have to do all these issues. I have to test all these things. Developer need to develop these things. So that's why it's called to-do. In progress means I'm working on it. Developer working on their part, tester working on their part. So those features will move to the in progress, whatever you are working. Open, closed. Those are like the issues still open or not, or the issues is closed or not, or resolved. So these are like a kind of a bag, right? Open, closed, reopen, and resolved. Right? Those are the bug life cycle, right? As a status, right? Here in progress, open, reopen, resolve, and close or complete. So it's the same thing. It's like a different naming in different tools. Charge দিতে হবে, দাঁড়ান, charge দিয়ে দিতেছি। Charge হয় নাই। তুমি আমাকে জ্বালাইতেছো কিন্তু বহুত। So those are the different naming convention, right?
Yes.
Any question?
No.
Left. So those are the status and resolution in the and priorities. Status, resolution, and priorities. So resolution have to do all these things. as a status, the resolution are fixed, unfixed, and priorities are critical, major, minor, blocker, all these things. Issue security schema. So this function in Jira allows you to control who can view the issues, right? Security means giving the permission who can view your issue or who can work on that issue or change the or modify the issue. It consists of few security level which can have user or group assigned to them. You can specify the level of security for the issues while creating or editing an issue. So by giving the security, you can block someone from seeing the issues or modifying the issues, or you can provide the permission to create the issue or modify the issue, all these things, or change the information within the issue. Similarly, there is a default permission schema, and any new project that is created will be assigned to this schema. Permission schema allow you to create a set of permission, apply the set of permission to any project. So these are nothing but a permission of issues, who can see the issues, who can create the issues, who can modify the issue, who can delete the issue, all these things. By default, the permission schema is enabled, but the administrator can or the Scrum Master can block it or change it. Clear? Any question?
Yes.
Mehraj, sound forward. Some of the useful features that Jira admins provide to the users. So these are the some features Jira admin can provide to the users who is working with Jira tools. Like audit log, under audit log, you can view all the details about the issue created and the change made in the issue. The audit log is nothing but whatever issues you created, you can view the details of the issues, and any changes you made on the issue, you can see on the audit log. Issue linking, this will show whether your issue links with any other issues that is already present or created in the project. And also you can deactivate issue linking from the panel itself. Issue linking means it will show you whether your issue is linked with any other issue or not. As I said, like parent and child, you can create that relationship. Mail in Jira, using this mail system, you can set up the mail account to send the status of the issues. So like if you are testing it and you want to send the result of that issue to a project manager, you can configure the mail in the Jira. So once whatever issues you're testing it, once it's completed, whether it's pass or fail, then automatically it will be emailed to your project manager or whomever you include on that email address. Clear? And the events is they describe the status, the default template recommendation schema, and workflow. It's a post function expression for the event. The event are classified in two: a system event, Jira defined events, and a custom event, user defined event. So this is the event that gives you a default template of and the notification of the schema workflow transition. You can customize it, or you can use the default one, which is a default template from the Jira, or you can customize your own way, which is a defined user defined. Means like whatever schema you are defining, you can add that. So those are the events within the Jira. And watch list is nothing but you can like Jira allows you to watch a particular issue. And it means like if I'm working on an issue, you can go on to the issue and click the watch. Watch now means like you can see the progress of that issue, whether the issue is in progress still or working. If someone is creating a subtask or not, totally like status of the issue, you can see. So that is a watch list. You can add that issue in your watch list, so you can get the updated report of that issue. Any question? So these are some useful features. You can have it for your purposes, working purposes. By default, the administrator provide these features, so you can work on these things. Any question? I put it 2 times. Okay. So how you create a issue in Jira? Once you create a project, how you create an issue in the Jira? So these are the steps which will give you idea how you're going to create it. But when you do the practical, all these things, you will get more flavor how you can do it. But you need to also practice it to capture it. If you do this one time, you'll not remember. So you have to do multiple times to get used to it. Clear? So you have to open the Jira software and log in with your user ID and password. So once when you install the Jira, and after the installation, you create your user ID and password. The software we will be using is a evaluation copy, like 30 days free trial version. So if you want to practice more on that, before 30 days, you need to uninstall that software and reinstall it again. Because once it gets expired, you cannot install it anymore. It will ask you for the key. So let's say if you install today, you can practice maybe like 20 days or 25 days, and then you uninstall that from your computer completely.
Okay.
And then reinstall it again next day. So again from next day, you'll get 30 days. But if you install it and you didn't remove it and 30 days gone, then that installation will be marked on your BIOS and it will be there. And after that, even though you try to install it, it will ask you for the key, license key. You cannot install any more trial version. For that, you need to format your drive again and then reinstall it. So once you install it, you open it, log in with user ID and password, their dashboard. And then under free Jira dashboard, you will find the open option project, right? When you click on and it will open the window that will consist like simple issue tracking, project management, Agile Kanban, Jira Classic also you see here, right? Once you click the project, you will see all these things. Issue tracking, project management, Agile Kanban, Jira Classic, software development, Agile Scrum, demo project.
So these are the all option comes up.
These are all options within the project. What kind of project you want to create? Since we are here, we are creating a simple issue tracking, we'll be choosing this option, right? Simple issue tracking. And then provide the issue details. So once you choose this simple issue tracking, you'll get this window, second window, right? Where you have to provide the information of that issue tracking, where you have to provide name, key, project lead, all these things. Right? All these details. Clear? So
Yes.
you choose this and you click next. Once you click next, you'll get this window. Once you fill up this information, you click submit. So the issue will be created.
So how long we can use like trial version? As long as you
I said 30 days.
She just
Only 30 days. Okay.
But as I said, when you install the 30 trial version, let's select 25 days, uninstall the software from your computer.
Okay.
And then next day reinstall it again. So you'll get another 30% from the day of installation. So you have to continue the same thing.
And
You want
how
to
much
continually use it.
how much the like a for pay for Jira software? Is it too much now, little bit?
Oh, I don't know actually how much now.
Okay.
I have to check that. But for now you can use the trial version. 2-3
Yes.
months you can use it. But don't go beyond 30 days. Even don't go beyond 25 days. Because once you are done, it will be the key will be installed on your BIOS in main core. And then you cannot install it. And next time you're going to install it, it will ask for a license.
So we lose the free trial.
Yeah. So and then provide the details of the information to create the issue. Like when you click submit button, this window will be open. A new window will be open. So once you open a project and click the issue type, you'll get and put the next, you'll get the second window where you provide all the details of the issue tracking and click submit. Once you click submit, you'll get this window here. And here you have to provide all other informations. So once the issue is created, pop-up will appear in screen saying the issue is created successfully as shown as in the screen below. And then once you have put all this information, you create it, and you'll see here issue ST1 error during integration testing has been successfully created. So once you click the create, you will get this option screen, which will say that your issue has been created. Clear so far?
Yeah.
It's
Yes.
like 4 steps to create the issue. But here you need to, all the stick marks, you need to provide the details. Those are mandatory. And others, you can ignore it or you can provide it. It's up to you. So here they are showing project. What is the name of the project step testing? Issue type is a new feature. Summary error during integration testing. Priority is a measure. They mark it. So this is like option. You click here, it will give you a major, minor, all this. Then you choose that form. Then you choose the date, components, none, artifacts, version none. If there is any artifacts, you can mention the artifacts, name of the artifacts or version of the artifacts, right? You guys remember the artifacts? What is the artifacts? What are the artifacts? What is
So,
the
version.
effects? Versions, right?
Yeah.
I'm saying, you remember the artifacts. This is the effect version. Is there anything? Is this issue is affecting any other issues or not?
No.
Like you have a build version, right? Where 1.1.1 or 1.1.0. Same issue we had in 1.1.0 version, right? And we tested. But still we found the issue is not completed or not resolved, right? We reopen it again and we are trying to create another issue because right now the problem we are facing is not the same problem which we faced it earlier. We are testing the same feature, same user story. But earlier version, we got different problem. And now we are getting different problem. So that problem is fixed. Now we are getting some other problem. So if that is there, then you can say effect version means whether it's affected the version or not. That means you can say 1.1.0, that is affected. But this is there's nothing, they put it none.
Okay.
Fixed version, none. If there is any fix, you can mention that version name, that in which version it is fixed. An assignee, you can put the assign, you can assign yourself, assign to me, that is yourself, or you can assign to some other people. And if you don't choose, it will be automatic. Reporter, whom you're going to report this, his name, environment, which environment you are creating this issue. It's a test environment, pre-production environment, production environment. So those are the, you can choose it here. And then once
So
you once you click the create, you will see this, the issue has been created successfully. Yes.
So the reporter name, who is making the report or to whom we are making?
To whom you are reporting it. So normally like test lead.
Okay.
Or sometimes it can be developer also.
Okay.
So far, this is how the 4 steps you create the issues, right? And then you can open the issue menus to search and perform multiple functions in issues. So you can also search the issues and perform other functions within that issue. So if you want to edit the issue or want to export the issue in the XML or Word document, then you can hover on the mouse on main panel and click issue, and under issue options, click on the search for issues. That will open window from where you can locate your issue and perform all. So see, you can go to the filter, you can see click all issue means all the issues your team member within your team has created, you can see all of them. You can create the recently viewed, whichever you viewed, reported by me, my open issue. So if you create my open issue, you will see only the issue that is opened by you. You will not see any other team member issues. You will see only issues that you are working on or you're supposed to work on. Clear? So normally when you work, we see my open issues. Is there any open issues for me to work on? Because I don't need to go and see all issues. That will make me confused. Because not all issues is assigned to me. So I'll see only my open issues or reported by me. So when you click that, you can go to the issue here and search for the issue. And you can put the issue name or you can click my open issue. Either way you can do it. And then if you do these things, you can import this issue to the XML format, to your Excel or Word document. If you want to import it. Or export from here to Excel sheet. You can manage the filters, all these things. Bag UAT, reported by me, all. So this is when they searching for the issue, they found they have two issues. Now they can click here, plus sign, and they can do all this. Export, XML, Word document, and or all these things, they can do it. Depending on what they want. Any question here? So this is how you can search the issue, and if you want to export, that is on the script. So you see here Jira, these are main board, dashboard, project, issues, agile, create. If you want to create the issue, you can click that create button and then choose the issue types, provide the informations, all these things. If you want to see the project, you can click here, you can go to that particular project, and then you can see the issues within that project. This is the dashboard where you can see the reports, the sprint, backlog, to-do list, all these things. From the dashboard, you can see it. So once you install the software and once you start the test cases, then you can see all this in action. But before that, you need to know theoretically how it works. Clear? Any question here?
No.
Jafar, Toha?
No.
No, it's fine.
So when you select the search for issue, under issue, a window will appear and show the screenshot, right? You see this screenshot here. Search for issue option will bring you to a window. You can see issues created by you. Like here, we have a issue ST1, ST2. You can see there is a window created by issues created by you, ST1, ST2, right? Number 2 here, it's showing what? Bug detected during while user acceptance testing, right? So this is the issue. Name of the issue. Bug detected while user acceptance testing. And it gives you the details of the issues, right? Like when it's created, what kind of issue is this, what is the priority, what is the label. It is a label like bug. Since it is a backtracking, they are doing a backtracking, the label is as a bug testing. It is in status, in progress, right? Resolution is unresolved. So they are still working on it. So you can see all this information within that, right? Number 3 here, you can export it, right? If you want to export this information of the issue, you can export it as XML format, Word format, or printable. You can print it directly from Jira. Number 4 here, you can also view ongoing activities, right? Like, is there any comments provided by any team member for this issue? Is there any work log, any history, any activity going on, any reviews going on? You can see all this information through this activity list. And 5, time tracking. So under this option, you can even see estimation time to resolve the issues. Means like how long it will take to resolve the issue. Maybe you are waiting for developer to fix this issue and then you can retest it, right? So in time tracker, the developer might provide you estimate time when it can be fixed. So you can see that also. So all this information you can see when you search it and within the issues. Any question? So you can set this all these filters and you can view as per your need. And then click on the summary of the option to view the details about the issue. And then when you click the summary on the options, you can see the details about the issue, right? To view the summary of the issue, you can click on summary and this will open a new window which will show all the details of the project and progress of this chart. On the right hand side here of the summary window, there is the activity stream. This is the activity stream which gives the details about the issue and comments made by the assigned issue. So you see like who made the comment, any issues, all the details you can see. Means like whatever the activities performed within the issue from the different team member or other team member. And you can see here your project, the burn down chart, how long it takes, this issue, all these things. So it is this like a time and this issue type. So you can create a subtask. So if you are creating a task or issue, right, you can create a subtask for that issue. So after subtask issues are useful for splitting up a parent issues into a few smaller tasks that can be assigned and tracked separately. It addresses issues more comprehensively and segregates the task into smaller chunk of tasks to be. Means like big issues or big task user story, you can divide into different smaller user story, which is called subtask. So that is the issue. Main issue is the parent and all other under that issue are the child. So you can create a parent and child relationship. So even though you are dividing those issues in a subtask, you are accomplishing the main goal of that issue. But instead of keeping it as a broader side, you are just dividing it in smaller tasks. So you can complete like task 1 completed, task 2 completed, task 3 completed, and then your issue is completed. Like that. Any question? Any question? Task and subtask? Therefore?
No.
Only?
Is
So I
okay.
think, yeah, when you will do it, it will be more
So
clear.
subtasks can be created into 2 ways. Like you can create subtasks under parent issues. That is, as I said, under parent you can create the subtask, or you're creating an issue into subtask, or you can create a issue in a subtask. Either way, you can create the subtask. So to create a subtask in Jira, you must select an issue in which you want to assign the subtask. Under this issue window, click on assign more. Here you can see that. So here is your issue, right? Is the main issue, and you want to create a subtask for this issue. So you create assign more, right, option, then click create subtask. When you click the more, it will open all these options, right? And we want to create a subtask. Create this subtask. Once you click this, you will see this open, Windows is open, which is saying create subtask, and you have to give the information within the subtask, whether the issue type, summary, priority, due date, component, all these things, environment, all these things, and then hit the create button. Once you hit the create button, your subtask will be created. You can see here your subtask is created. Identify the bug and fix it. So this subtask has been created. Right?
I have a question in the previous page.
Yeah.
So we create subtasks in 2 ways. The first
Yes.
one is create subtask under parents issue and creating an issue or creating subtask into a subtask.
Yes. So this is a let's say the issue created, right? Under this issue, we are creating a subtask, right?
Okay.
But we can, instead of creating, let's say we created a feature. Under that feature also we can create the subtask. So feature is a parent, right? Let's say.
Yeah.
The test case we have done, right? Travel by airways, right? There is our feature, right? Under that feature, we have like different issues, right? You can travel the flight test cases, right? Those are the issues, right? We have 4 test cases, right?
Mhm.
So travel by air, we can have that feature, and under that feature, we can create subtasks. Or we can have the test case, and under that test case, we can create the subtask. There's a difference only.
No, I understand the subtask, but on your note on the left-hand corner at the top, so the second one, creating an issue or creating a subtask is gonna be.
That's what I did it. Like create a subtask under parent issue.
Okay.
So let's say I created parent issue traveling by airways. A feature, issue,
Okay.
big issue. Now that big issue I can divide into different chunks, right? Like we wrote the 4 test cases where we divided, how we divided, right? You remember the test cases?
Yeah, yeah.
Yes. So that 4 test cases can be a 4 different issue. So under that parent, you can create those subtasks. Again, within that 4 issues we created, right? Under each of them, we can create a subtask also.
Okay.
Clear? Not clear? Or is that? You see here. See here, right?
Yeah, this is the
Traveling by
like,
airways, right?
Yeah.
yeah,
I can create this as a issue,
yeah,
which is a parent issue.
Mhm.
Under that, I can create this subtask
Subtask, yeah.
that I will go by Emirates Airlines. The flight is as per schedule, all this thing, right?
Mhm.
Or I can have these issues created separately, right? 4 of them,
Mhm.
and we will fly by airlines, let's say. Instead of Emirates, I put
Mhm.
we will fly by airlines.
Okay.
Under that, I can create a subtask that by saying that I will fly by Emirates Airlines.
Okay. Yeah.
So within that issues, I can create the subtask, or within that parents, I can create the subtask.
Okay. I got it.
Clear now?
Yes. Yes.
yes,
Thank you.
So that's why I'm saying creating a subtask under a parent issue, or you can create a issue into a subtask.
Okay.
Therefore, clear?
Yes, yes.
So once you do this, you will see that there is a subtask created for you, and you can see the time tracking, estimated, remaining, and logged. All this time you can see for this issue, and you can log these things. So this is a workflow of the Jira for the status transition that the issues goes through the life cycle, like a bug life cycle. We have the bug life cycle. Same thing in Jira, they have the workflow, which the issues goes through this life cycle. So you have an open issue, resolve issue, in progress issue, open issues, and close issues. These are the 5 attributes you will see within the Jira. So you have created a issues, which is a open issue, right?
Mhm.
When you create it, that means it's a open status, right? If it
Yes.
is resolved issue, then if that issue is resolved, then it will be a resolved status, right?
Yeah.
If it is a closed status, if the issue is closed, then it will be a closed status, right? But instead of closed, if it is reopened, then they should be reopened status. And if the issue is open and start progressing, it will be in progress. So these are the in progress, open, in progress, resolved, reopen, closed. You can do some combinations. Either the issue can be open, in progress, closed, right? Or it can be open, in progress, and then not resolved. You can go reopen, then closed. So any combination they based on the issues problem, you can define the status of the issues. But basically in Jira you have 5, but you can customize those status if you have a if you purchase the enterprise level software, you can customize those fields within your Jira software. Clear? Any question here?
No, it's fine.
It's same thing like a bug life cycle. Nothing else.
Yeah.
So here in Jira workflow, you have the status, you have the assignee, you have the resolution, condition, validators, post functions, and properties. Those are the workflow of the Jira. Attributes of the workflow. Status means it will give you the status of the workflow, whether the issues is in which status. Transitions are the bridge between status and the way particular issues move from one status to another. So transition means like where the issues is moving within this cycle, right? It is moving from open to in progress to resolve to close, right? Those are the transition from one transition to another transition. It's moving. This is called transition. It's a bridge between the status and the way it moves, right? Sign-in indicates the responsible party for a given issues and determines how the task would be executed. Sign-in means whoever responsible for this issue is the assignee. Resolution, it explains why an issue a transition from an open status to be closed one. So resolution means it show you whether it's progress done or closed or resolved. So those are the resolution means it will show you from one status to move to another status. What is the status of that issue? Whether it will be moved, closed, or it is open or it is resolved. The condition is the control who can perform the transitions. Like it's like a conditional loop, right? It can be conditional, like if you open the create a issue, you can put the condition, if this condition met, then it will be closed. Otherwise, they should not be closed. So those are like conditional status. Validators can ensure that the transition can happen given the status of the issue. Like who validates the issue has been resolved or not. Means like when you're doing retesting, right? You are validating. Properties, this requires some properties in the transaction. These are the things you can select in progress. All the details you will see in the issue tracker. Or the labels, what kind of level this, what is the blocker, priority, what is the type, what is the status, what is the resolution. And from here you can change your assignee or you can stop progress, you can click done, means like issue has been done. All these things you can do it from here. So those are the workflow of a Jira. Status, transition, assignee, resolution, condition, validators, and properties. Any question here? So for the issue that we have created, Jira will present a workflow which maps the progress of the project. As shown the screenshot here. Whatever status that we have set in the issue panel will be reflected in the workflow chart. So whenever you open a issue in the Jira, it automatically maps the workflow within the progress of the project. So it will, if you open that workflow chart, you will see the map of the tracking workflow, which condition your issue is. It is in progress, it is in open, or it is done, or it is resolved, all these things. So by seeing this workflow, you can quickly understand the issue has been in which position, right? Whether it is in progress or it's done or it's not yet started. There are some plugins in Jira which is available to make more effective. Like you can put the plugin to connect with the ALM or QTP or Excel or Word. All those are plugins in Jira you have to support for test management. You can like GitHub for the release. Any questions so far there?
No.
Screens. These are nothing but same thing you are reading whatever you did in the SDLC bug lifecycle. This is like a different transition to the Jira software, how they do it. So Agile Scrum method is generally used by the development teams to follow a roadmap to plan features for upcoming versions of their product. And Agile follows the same roadmap to track their issues on a other Jira method to do in progress done. So this is the like method. And normally we do Agile methodology, Agile Scrum methodology. So we use this Jira method to track our progress or work, which is like to-do list. In to-do list, whatever happen in progress, whatever we are working on it, and done when we done with our work. Here, so you have a to-do, in progress, and done. We have an issue in to-do and the second issue in progress. Once the issue is in progress resolved, it will move to the done status, and in the same way, the issue in to-do will move to the next status in progress, right? So if there is a 5 issue in to-do, first issue is in progress and I'm working on it. Once it moved done, the second issue will be in progress. Or I can have 2-3 issues together in progress if I'm working simultaneously on those issues, right? Creating issue in Agile, right? How you create an issue in Agile? You remember? Same thing, right? When you create the project, instead of creating a simple issue, you can choose Agile Scrum, right? Once you choose that, this one here. Here, right? You can choose Agile Scrum, right? Instead of simple issue tracking, you can choose the Agile Scrum. Since you are working with the Agile Scrum methodology. So once you choose that one, you'll get this thing, right? Agile testing, and then you can choose your option as per your requirement, and you can select the Scrum methodology. And then you can create the same way you create the issue, you can create the epic. So whenever you choosing like a Scrum, in the Scrum we call epic and user story. So normally in Jira, whenever you're working with the Agile Scrum, you heard that you have an epic. Under that epic, you have a user story. Those are the things we'll be hearing. So in Jira Agile, an epic is simply an issue type. So epic is nothing but a issue, a test case, a test scenario. The epic captures a large body of work. It is a large user story which can be broken down into a small feature story. So epic is a like broader test scenario which you can break it into smaller test cases or smaller methods. To complete Jira epic, it may take several sprints. You can either create a new epic in Agile or use the issue you have created in normal Jira board. Likewise, you can use the create a story model. So let's say the epic you are creating. This our epic is. This is our epic, right? Traveling from Mumbai, Shishore to Columbus, Shishore is a functionality. Shishore, right? This is our epic. What is it? This is our test scenario, right?
Test scenario.
What is this? This is a broader. It's not a smaller, right? Because we're to test these things, we have there are 4 different things we have, and then under those things we'll have more test cases, right?
Yeah.
So this is a broader scenario, which is called epic, or you can call feature. Either you can call epic or you can call feature, since it's contain a broader testing area. So this epic or feature, we cannot finish it in one sprint, right? We cannot develop and test in one sprint. Maybe this one take 2 sprint, this one take 2 sprint, this one take 2 sprint. Maybe it will take 6 or 7 sprint to complete this epic or feature. Clear?
Yeah.
So that's what he's saying. It's like a several sprint, and you can either create a new epic in Agile or use the issue you have created in normal Jira board. So you can create epic, you can put the names and hit the create, it will create the epic. Plan mode in Agile. Plan mode displays all the user stories created for the project. And you can use the left-hand side menu to decide the basis on which the issue needs to be displayed. While on the right-hand side menu, click on the issue, you can create a surplus logo. So left side of that board, you can decide which issue you need to create. Like you want to create a normal issue type, or you want to create a Kanban board, or you want to create a Agile Scrum. On the right side, you can choose what are the subtasks or log work you can create, right? And work mode in Agile, it will display the sprint information, active sprint information. Like you might have sprint 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 created already, and there was a backlog already created for that feature or epic. All the test cases are created under the sprint, but all the sprint will not be active at a time. It will be one sprint will be active at a time. So you want to see which sprint is active, you can choose the active sprint, and you can see what are the issues under the sprint you're going to work on. Clear? So all the user story will be displayed into 3 categories. And to do, in progress, and done. Means like here. You see here. On the right side here, you see the log work, attached file. This one, plan mode. On the, you can create subtask log work on the right side. On the left side, you can choose the priorities, details. And you can choose the clone, log work, attached file, convert, all these things. And you see the issues, how many issues created for this sprint. Those are the links, 7 of 7 matching issues. So under the one epic, they have like 7 issues created, and those are attached or linked with the parent. So these are the child, and there is a parent issue. So special character appears on web page. See, this one is they have been cloned, so they haven't created the new issue for this one. What they did clone it here. You see, link and clone. So you can either link the issue with the parent, or you can clone the issue as a parent or child. So 2 options you have it here. So there is another issue function, Jira link. Issue linking allows you to create an association between 2 existing issues on either the same or different Jira server. And I showed that we have linked the current ST6 drop-down menu is not working with another issue type, GUI is not responsive. Retest GUI function. So they have link two issues. One is ST6 drop down and another is 4 here. GUI is not found. So these two is linked. That's why they cloned it and then link it. Means like these two issues are for same feature and they are dependent on each other. Because since there is a drop down menu is not working, that means the GUI is also not working. Right? GUI function is not working. That's why they don't see the drop down menu. So these two issues are interlinked. That's why they link these two issues. Once, if this is resolved, they can test this issues. They don't need to sit down to fix this issue because either one is fixed, that means both will be fixed. So one of them fixed, they can test both of them and close it. That's why they link it. If they don't link it, then they will not see the association once they're working on this. So there is a linking, or you can clone, means like you can, instead of creating the issue again, you can just clone the same issue and clone it and just change the information within the issue. You can do that. Any question here? Any question?
No.
Jafar?
No.
Okay, so here you see on the right side, you see the link. You have issue ST2 bug detected user. You can, once I choose this, I can right click and see the menu, which is a link, and I can link this issue with any issue I wanted to link, right? So like here we have a set sprint 1 day and it will run sprint for a specific period as shown in the screenshot below. If you're working with the Scrum and you want to prioritize the issue or rank the issue, then you just must simply drag and drop the issue into a backlog. So if you want to prioritize or you want to rank the issue, you can put in the backlog and then you do the prioritize. Means like which issue need to be worked first. And apart from this multiple tasks, you can do also like click in the right side on the corner and window will appear and you can use as per need, like what you want to do. You have to assign it, edit it, send it, log it, that is the file, stop watching, create the subtasks, delete, link, remove, all these things you can do it with that for this issue. So those are the options as per your needs for the link and clone. So as I said, you can also generate the report, burn down chart, right? How much work has been done, how much work has been left, how many hours has been burned, how many hours has been led, what are the resources working for the project, and how much they spend the time to complete the project or complete the sprint. So you can have the sprint burn down chart, or you can have also project burn down chart. Like sprint burn down chart is like sprint wise, it will give you how many works you have been working, spent, how many issues has been resolved, created, how many bugs has been found, all these things per sprint. Or you can have a project's burn down, like at the end of all the sprint, total sprint may be 6. So within this 6 sprint, how many time has been taken, how many issues has been created, how many bugs has been found, how many time has been spent, all these things. So to track the progress in Agile, a burn down chart shows the actual and estimated amount of work to be done in the sprint. A typical burn down chart will look somewhat like this, where the red line indicates the actual tasks remaining, while the blue line indicates ideal tasks remaining during the Scrum cycle. See here. So it is a x-axis and y-axis, right? So this is a project XYZ iteration, and iteration 1 burn down chart means like one iteration. It can be a iteration 2, 3, 4. They started the work from here and they ended here, right? So red line is giving what? It is giving actual tasks remaining. And the blue line indicating that Ideal task event during the Scrum cycle, per Scrum cycle. So by this you can see what is your time, how many days it taken, how many hours it taken per iteration. And you can configure the pie chart here, right? Apart from the burnout chart, these are the other options available in Jira automation, like sprint report. You can have an epic report, you can have a version report, velocity chart, control chart, community flow diagram. You can also use different chart option to represent the progress of your project. So from this configuration, you can choose what kind of report you want to show. And based on these things, it will show you the report. So sprint report give you report of the sprint you have been working on. Sprint 1, 2, 3, all these things, right? An epic report will give you all the epics or user stories or scenarios you've been working. How many scenarios, how many epics you've been working, and how many time you have spent, how many test cases has been written, how many defect has been found, all these things. Version report is how many version has been created to complete this task. Velocity chart is how many resources has been working for how many hours and how many project hours. So they will calculate those. Control chart and communicate chart program. Communicate means like all together, like maybe like sprint and velocity, all this together communicatedly for the full project management. How many time estimated? What are the epics has been created? What are the total time taken for the project? How many works has been resources has been working? How many time has been elapsed? What is the estimation cost of the project? It is like within their budget or is going out of their budget. Any questions? So all these reports can be generated and management can review this report and find out like how their progress is. Any question? No. So as I said here, you can choose a assignee priority, right? You can choose all these things. From the chart, you can choose. From the pie chart, you can choose assignee component, issue type, priority, resolution, stuff, so on. And you can also configure how you want to see the Scrum board, right? The way you want to see the Scrum board, you can also configure them. By giving the various options through which you can make changes into board appearance. And various features you can configure using Scrum or column, swimline, quick filters, card colors, and so on. And we have selected columns management, selected the option issue count, and it will show the total number of issue in progress, to do or done. In column management, we can add an additional column as per our requirement. Likewise, there are different features that you can. So by configuring it, you can manage or you can put the way you want to see your board. You can put more column in column wise, more attributes, the way you want to manage it, handle it, or you can want to see it. Normally, standard, there is a 4 column we do it, to-do list, backlog, to do, in progress, start. There's the 4 standard column in Jira. But in many organizations, they add more different columns. And you can set all these things, select priority, report, assign all these things here. You can filter it to show it. You can create a new filter and you can put the filters to see it, right? And here you can see that as I'll configure, you go to the configure, you can put the columns and you can create the columns, right? Like to do, open, in progress, closed. You can add here also more. So here you have 4 of them. Through column, you can add the more columns if you want here by configuring it. So go to the configure, go to the column, and you can create the column that will appear here, side by side. You have a card clock colors, you can choose the card colors, you can do the estimations, you can put the working days, you can do the issue details view, what are the events, seeing it, all this you can configure from the dashboard by configuration. And you can create the report like pie chart or other graphs you want. Any question? So there is a Kanban board. Instead of Agile, you can also use Kanban board for your project, right? Like Agile Scrum board, you can also create a Kanban board. Where here we have create a project named Cloud Testing, and Kanban board is useful for teams that are managing and considering their work in progress. And this is visible in work mode, but not in the plan mode. So in Agile, you can have plan mode and work mode both, but in Kanban, you will have only work. You don't have a plan mode view. So here you can see we created a cloud testing new Kanban board, and then we created a issues, right? Bug detector while load testing and check issues related to cloud server Kanban board. We've created two issues here, 1 and 2, CT1 and CT2, two of the issues we've created. And Kanban board is considered as a best model for bug fixing and maintenance release, where incoming tasks are prioritized and then the work accordingly. There are few measures which can make Kanban board more efficient, like visually workflow, limit your work progress, work on issue, measure the cycle. So you can use both Kanban and Scrum, Agile Scrum. But Kanban board is more visualized for your workflow if you have a limited work for your bug, all these things. But vastly we use the Agile Scrum board where you do all the things. Either way you can do it. Some company use the Kanban board instead of Agile. But there is advantage and disadvantage in both of them. So these are the Scrum versus Kanban, like reports, burn down chart. You can have a burn down chart in the Scrum, but in Kanban you will have a control chart, right? In Scrum you will have Agile board, where in Kanban you will have a constraint. In Scrum we call as a backlog, in Kanban we call as a workflow. So basically you will be familiar with this backlog, report, Agile, Epic, user story, those things, because you will be using Agile Scrum. So there is a difference in two of them. Any question? Any questions so far?
No, it's okay. It's interesting.
Okay.
So before
So take a,
Jira report, what did we study?
before Jira?
No, the Jira report. Yes.
Cloning, link, Agile, all these things, workflows. But this will be like more practical. Practically you have to do it.
Yeah.
This is not nothing that you will have to remember many things from here. If you do that practically, then you can remember things. With going this theoretically, cannot. You have to combine with practical. So we'll take the 15 minutes break, and after that we come back. We'll install the Jira software, and then we'll try that test cases there. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
So we'll come back at 10:05.